So we want to talk a little bit about this Spanish squat idea. One of the things I'm trying to do is keep my eyes on YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, and see what people are talking about, and then try some of that stuff out and see, does it really make sense? We have always, if you can see, we have always advocated using a band below somebody's knees if we have somebody who struggles with hip control. So if we have someone who tends to be a cave-in kind of person, we're going to ask them to get a band on their knees, push out against the band. We want to make the abductors, because if you think glute max is an abductor and an external rotator, we want to make it work in that external rotator capacity as well as in its extensor capacity, right? So that leads us to the Spanish squat idea. I remember looking at the Spanish squat and thinking, I'll be honest, my first impression was, it seems kind of silly. And the reality is, if you have someone with knee pain who's not strong enough yet to tolerate unilateral work, this is a really, really good idea, because as we talked about in the second split squat video, what you see is that for most people, vertical tibia is going to be less painful. If you've got someone who's got a patella femoral problem, which again is probably going to be 80% of your knee pain sufferers, particularly if you're dealing with young athletes, that anterior weight shift is immediately what's going to get them to be like, oh, that's uncomfortable. That does not feel good. The cool thing about this Spanish squat idea is that you can now, again, create vertical tibia and really get people to sit back into their squat. What I did is I made sure that I'm inside of the band, because what I want to get from this band is the added benefit. Now I can use it to create abduction, external rotation, which is going to get my glutes more involved. And then I can really emphasize the vertical tibia aspect. So I can now have this person sitting back. You're going to, again, get somebody. The cool thing about the Spanish squat is, when you think about the MBSC, CFSC way of doing things, is we're always going to talk about the idea of, does it hurt? You're going to be able to get somebody to squat probably almost immediately with this Spanish squat idea, just using a band. The one thing I would tell you, this band might be a little bit like, this is like a 1-inch Perform Better. I'd probably go 1 3/4, just so I get a little more security as I lean back into it. For me, it's okay, but somebody else might do better with a little bit bigger band.